Crazy bomb was dropped on us in last episode, and we continue on. Gachiakuta, episode 13. We start this episode back where Amo dropped the big bomb. Suddenly, we're thrown into a flashback of her younger self. So, this is a very strange translation of events. You have Amo and her mother just kind of hanging out. Amo sidetracked, paying attention to this bird, trying to tell her mother, hey, look at the birdie. And whenever her mom comes over, she says, that bird will never love you. Amo turns on the bird, and the bird flies off. Suddenly, we see the two holding hand in hand, walking off. And Amo's like, where are we going? Mom says, to see someone who will love you lots and lots. So as the pair are walking down this alley, Amo notices this man. Behind him, there's this buggy cart, and whenever we get to look closer at his face, his eyes are covered by this hood. And the pair come to a stop. We hear Amo's mom say, isn't it nice? That person will love you forever and ever. And Amo's mom continues on about how lucky of a girl she is. Lucky. And we get to see this guy's eyes, and he just looks dead inside. And we're just wondering, what is Amo's thoughts on this? And suddenly the art style just changes. That man loves Amo that much in excitement. In this sort of like kitty style, we see Amo run straight at the man, and they start holding hands in swirling circles. But in this art style, it's a very naive child. Her mom takes money from this man in return. It's very clear because the pouch is shown golden as he gives it to her. After Amo's mother sells off her daughter, we go to the title card, we come back, and now Amo is riding with a strange man on the buggy. Riding with various other things in the back, Amo asks the man, hey mister, where are we going? He replies, I have a perfect home for you, and it's the same tower that Amo lives in currently. He continues on, this is a little uncomfortable by the way. It will just be for you and me, where no one else can come between us. Both of them enter this tower. Amo's very wowed with it, and she talks about how her mother would love to see this. The man sitting there thinking, staring at her with these really weird eyes. He's either sucking on his thumb or biting his fingernail, and he's thinking to himself, your mom has decided not to be in your life anymore. This is like very, very uncomfortable. The man's thinking continues on. He says, I'll be your life from now on, and his eyes are much more transfixed and more closer to his face. The screen cuts to black. The man whispers, I'll nurture you. You'll grow big and strong. As color and picture come back, it's sort of like a blue close to black, and we see this like grabby hand come out. And each time it would come back to normal where Mo notices something that she has, such as picture books, food, and clothes, and the next shot would be that grabby hand. Amo noticing all these things she's got, she asks the man, do you get these at your job? He replies, I do. Continuing on, I'm a trafficker, you see. We hear him say something about he has more stuff than he needs, and this man just starts breaking down. And this is what he says, all the other traffickers hate me. In this breakdown, he says, I don't know why, I act totally normal, but they all say I'm creepy. Yeah, you are pretty creepy. Wait a minute. The next thing he says, why? I'm a giver. There aren't many traffickers like me. Right after we hear Mo thinking to herself, oh, there he goes again, meaning he does this constantly. The man starts talking while crawling over to Amo. Amo, Amo, remember how I told you this room used to be for some kind of ritual? As he looks at Amo and says this, his tone and facial expression changes completely. I think we should do a ritual too. Our usual ritual. Amo cuts in and we can make assumptions here. Amo's heart beats fast when she does that ritual. She continues to try and beg him no. It's hard to breathe, so please. This quacko jerk whispers Amo, and we get another look at his creepy face. What you're feeling is love. Mo's face sort of has this realization. Then we see this man crawl over to her picture books and show her this certain one, where he says, the girl in this picture book falls in love with her prince, remember. This guy is exactly what we all thought. He continues on, you've fallen in love with me. And her being a child, she's like, got it. We cut to that childlike art. This is a child's naive mind. This is to kind of represent it. This is love, huh, is what Amo says. And it's all just so innocent, even the man smiling back. But this is frickin' disgusting. The dude groomed this young girl he bought for nothing from her mother. He was wanted by no one. And he took a child and made him believe that he actually loved her just so he can do this to her. This switch to the sequence that is dark, The music is much more eerie, and we hear the flowers in the background begin to talk. It reminds me of one of those Pop Tart characters. It whispers up close to her like it's in her ear. You smell so good, Amo. The next thing we see is Amo open her eyes, like she just woke up from a dream. Right after, we get to see an angle that she's actually looking at, which is up, and suddenly we get to see her on the bed. Very suggestive. I'll keep saying it. This is awful and so uncomfortable. Scumbag went to the corner after whatever they were doing, and he's talking about how he's not alone to himself. The next shot after, we see Mo on the bed. She kind of looks over at the guy with a certain look, and we hear her say, "First love, so this feeling is first love." After saying that, Mo starts to giggle, and suddenly we hear this door trying to be opened, and she quickly pays attention to it. Whoever this is opens the door. We see the man kind of turn around, and we hear Mo in the background ask, "Who's there?" Whoever this is appears to be wearing a cloak as well as a mask. And we go from just peeker level to looking that there is another person with them who is also masked and wearing a cloak. After coming back from the opening, we get to see these masked people have made it inside. One of them is seen walking towards Amo, and it's almost like a voice changer whenever they talk. "Excuse us." Amo is trying to put her clothes back on. Weird Creeper is looking over confused. "Who are you people? Who said you could come in here?" Both of the mysterious masked people have came to a stop. "This place is just for me and Amo." Weirdo switches over to anger. "Hey, you little..." He plants both of his feet down, like he's about to launch at him. "I'll get you, if you don't get out of here right now." He launches himself up. "Y'all leave in bags." The two masked people just sit there and stare. The man lands down with a force, and we get to see his boot, which is the same one that Amo has. He continues to say, "I'll stomp you to death with my vital instrument." And in just a flash, we see one of the masked people just go zoom right beside of the fella. Creepy's like, "Oh crap." And the masked person does what this guy deserves. He punches him right in the face. This follows up by the punch replaying on another angle, then Creepy falls over. After just punching him, this masked fellow takes his boot. I'm always unsure what to think about this, and we see the other masked fellow walk up to her. As he stands there in front of Amo, he puts his hand out and the other masked fellow hands over the boot. They then reach over to Amo to give it to her, and with that same voice changer voice, "These would suit you better." Amo starts to smell these boots as the masked person continues to talk. "The void created by what your heart has lost." We hear this, and Amo's like, "Whoa." And then we zoom in closer to the mark on these boots. "These will fill." Amo reaches out with both hands to accept it. Afterwards, both mysterious masked people begin to make their leave. At least that's what it appeared like, but they just make their way behind Amo, and they stand there, and we hear that same voice changer voice come out. Yes, this would be the closest, as Amo looks back at them. After hearing that, we get to see outside the tower for a second, and we come back to the masked person asking the other one that is with them to come here. They put their arm over the other one's shoulder. So there's a lot of mystery at this moment. We now focus on Amo. That same masked person is talking. There's some sort of light going on that they've either vanished or teleported. We really don't know at this point. And we hear, "Miss, you may keep those until the time comes. Take good care of them." As Amo asks them, "Are you?" White slowly covers the screen. After the white takes over the screen, we come back. Oh my goodness. I thought it was going to be a simple teleport. No, this is the work of some sort of angel. Mo's reaction, "An angel?" So what happens next? Instead of flying up, this angel either flies down or glides down. Okay, I'm relieved here. So Mo runs over to go check on it, and this is where the angel flies up. As Mo watches out, we get to see this angel hold another masked person. Mo watches as this angel flies in the sky, so excited, happy. And you'll never guess, Scumbag gets up and walks behind Mo. Mo is just so excited and says, "Hey mister, did you see that?" referring to the angel. I just want to give a moment to say that this writing is actually really brilliant, and you don't gotta think too deep about it. At this moment, I knew something was up. If you remember back whenever Mo was telling her mom about the bird, it is very similar to what an angel is, because both fly, and it just had me thinking. Mo goes over to the guy, happy, excited. Those people, they were angels. So cool, right? They really exist. They're not just in picture books. Scumbag says, Mo, with a pause. Amo then again continues, "Oh yeah, you got hit." Amo then begins to ask, "Does it hurt?" And this absolute scumbag pushes her over. "Those are my boots. How dare you take them, you little bitch." After pushing Amo to the ground, this absolute waste of space kicks her over and over and says, "You think a little pissant like you is worthy to touch them?" He continuously berates her while kicking her. Eventually, it just becomes like it's noise canceling, and it's just Amo talking inside of her mind. We can still hear the impacts. She says, "Huh, weird," to herself. "This doesn't feel like normal." We see a cut to black and the dream flowers. Picture comes back. Normally, it doesn't feel like anything. It stopped feeling like anything. This noisy feeling in Amo's heart. Did the boots make that? For a moment second, we see a shot of the man still kicking on Amo, and then we look at her boots, and it appears the symbol has lit up. Coming back to Amo thinking, she closes her eyes. Yeah, that's right. These boots suit Amo better. Repeating to herself once again, they suit Amo better. These belong to Amo then. As we look down at the boot symbol, it lights up yet again. Then we see the eyes of Amo that are lit up. No one else can have them. At such a crucial moment, we have a cut. We're now back to the present. Amo and Tomi are in their same exact spots before the flashback, and we get to see that there's someone approaching them. It is both Rudo and Injin. Rudo comes to a stop and says, "Hey." Rudo continues, "I wanted to ask you." Folio cuts him off. "Rudo, where have you been?" "She's telling us everything about the thing you came to ask." As Rudo looks at Amo's face, we return back where we cut off at the flashback. As Scumbag looks frightened, he says, "No, how?" Wait, what is going on here? So I just noticed as we're looking through this scumbag's eyes, Amo's hair has changed colors. Was it always red and I didn't notice? And all at once, this is how it turns black, is by activating this vital instrument? But he continues to question, how is my vital instrument responding to you? Not possible. Vital instruments are only supposed to be usable by their owner. All at once, Amo snaps out of it. Why is mine responding to somebody else? Amo then answers him. Maybe because they didn't belong to you. Amo doesn't know much about what vital instruments are, but the angel said these boots suited Amo better. And Amo's heart feels so full when she holds these boots. It's like Amo found a piece she lost. Like when you put batteries in an old toy and it works for the first time. That's what it feels like, see? She looks over at him and asks, "So, Mo can have these, right?" The man begins to make a sound, but it isn't coming out. He then goes over to Mo, gets on his knees, and starts fighting her over the boots. As he's gripping the boots in Mo's hands, he tells her, "Listen, dear, it's not nice to take other people's things." Mo looks at him terrified as he continues on. "Guess a dumpster like you wouldn't know. It's basic human courtesy, okay?" Mo's response, "What?" "You have all kinds of things you stole from people, mister." They both continued to tug at the boots. Besides, Amo asked if she could have them. It was an angel who said they suited Amo better. So just let Amo have them. The man then asked her, "What's wrong with you, Amo? Why are you being such a disobedient girl today? Do I need to teach you all over again?" He stands up, continuing to fight her for the boots. She's trying her best to keep the grip on it. Amo says, "Amo's feeling a lot of feelings right now. Like that thing. Courage and annoyance too. And she's thinking not good things right now too. But," she pauses, "Amo won't ask for anything ever again. Give these boots to Amo, please. Amo wants them so much." The man stares at her like he's dead to her. And then all at once he yells, "No! How many times must I tell you, these boots are mine and only mine? How many times do I have to have this conversation, you pain in the ass? Just let go already. Come on, do it." Amo then starts screaming like crazy, and she starts yelling at him, "You're mean! You're mean! Amo asked so many times. Do what Amo says right now." He sits there and stares as Amo goes on. "You said you loved Mo." Amo starts kicking him as she fights for the boots. As she's fighting him, he grabs her hair. She then starts to struggle, but to get out of it, she bites his arm, during which he elbows her, but she continues to grip onto him. And what happens next is she ends up pushing him, and there is a hole in this tower, which he falls backwards into. Very soon, him and Amo both have a realization. We watch as he falls down, and you already know, splat, leaving nothing but a bloodstain in this world. After seeing what just happened, Amo comes down from the ledge. We hear hysterical laughing. Huh? There Amo questions, "Why did that happen? Huh? Why did Amo live all this time with Mister? What is Amo doing here?" Why did Mama introduce Amo to Mister? The next thing we see is this cut to a title screen that is all staticky. Because she sold you. We see Amo's face and it's like, what? Again, it cuts to the same screen. This time, the letters are all in bold. Because she sold you. Oh no, it's not like that. Amo picks up the boots and stands up. Amo sees now. She did it so Amo could be loved. Right after, she sniffs her boot. Mister was a really good first love. Amo will never forget him. We cut to another black screen with text. After that, Amo discovered her power. Another piece of text then appears. Many people enter this desert. She wanted to be loved by so many people. Many months later, Amo is in the desert and she's looking up at the sky. As she narrates this, and then the angel came back. Only one though. We then come back to the present after Amo told him the story. We then hear Gross say this. I didn't expect her to tell us about the angel just by telling her story. And Ryotume's response to that, Amo must have been through so much. After that, Folio says, Angel, not a real angel, right? Folio's continued question. She means a spirit, right? Or a giver with powers to grow wings? Sanka questions. We then hear Tamsi. I wonder. She seems mentally unstable. It could be a hallucinogen. Ryo then cuts in. But the question is, how? How did they cross the border? Amo then answers, but it's sort of like a question. Flying with wings? So Ryo asks Amo another question. So whereabouts did the angel set down? Amo answers, over the horizon. We then hear Engine say that's not helpful. Engine continues talking. Hey miss, when did the angel come back? Amo responds, a month ago maybe. A month, huh? Around the same time Ruto came to the ground. Ruto then walks over to Amo. You see, the whole time she was talking and telling the story, she was using a sharpened rock to draw on the ground. And Ruto sees this and sort of smiles. Ruto then says, it's that guy. And boom, we see the masked man again. The one that settled Ruto's fate. Ruto continues on, okay, it's that asshole. He's here on the ground. And he was part of a pair. Got it. He starts breathing in, prepared to say what's next. That's awesome news. Maybe he came after me, but I don't give a shit. If they're here, I just have to track them down. Wait for me. I'll find you no matter what it takes. And make you tell me everything. How to get back up there, why you killed Regato, and then I'll make you apologize in front of Regato's grave. While Ruto has a strange face on, and he's laughing, Amo says, you're the same, right? Ruto snaps out of it, paying attention to Amo. You, Ruto, those gloves made your heart human, right? These things you and Amo carry, they go well with people who are missing something. A big hole in your heart needs a lot to fill it up. These things have enough to fill the holes in your and Amo's heart. Amo got back the feelings that humans should have. But becoming human made Amo understand some things. Tears began to flow from her eyes. Like what Mister was doing to her, that she was so lonely, all by herself, that she wants to be with someone, wants to be needed. But Amo was afraid to leave her walled garden. She waited for people to come for her, waited to connect with people who came to her garden, but it didn't go so well. And then, she then asked Ruto a question. You came to say sorry to Amo, right? Before Ruto can say anything, she answers, you don't have to. Amo's the same way as you. No, not just Amo. Everyone is. They only use their hands when it's time to hit others. That's why the world never changes. After that, Ruto squats down to her level. Then, we see him put his hand out to her. And then he says, to form connections with other people, continues on, let's you and me learn to hold our hands out to others. I don't know how to do it right either, so let's study it together. Mo changes to a happy relief. You're doing it right now. So normally we would have already had credits. This week's a special episode because we get some extended footage. The credits play on the sideline, the anime continues. Everyone is now outside. Ruto and Amo are saying their goodbyes, but beforehand, Ruto asks her if she wanted to come, and she's like, nah. Amo says, Amo wants to stay a little longer and work some things out. We shouldn't worry about not seeing her again, because she invites Ruto to come back to talk to her sometimes. After hearing that, we also get to see that she was given a communicator. Ruto responds to her invitation, sure, sometimes, and they wave goodbye and all head out. We can catch some conversation when the cleaners are on their way back to the HQ. Engine notes, we did learn how to cross the border. However, they confirmed the existence of angels who crossed the border, and saw a vital instrument with the same emblem as Ruto's gloves. Ruto in the back, we get to hear his thoughts. He was about to lose it again whenever he found about the angels that were behind this. But listening to Amo talk softened that feeling for some reason. After the vehicle checkup, we switch things and we see Amo who just came into the tower. Talking out loud to herself, later, huh? It'd be nice to have a sleepover next time. Just out of nowhere, all at once, we see this figurine shadow towering above her, and she turns around. All we hear from her, "Who is there?" And we're now looking outside the locked door. "No, what are you doing?" As we start paddling back from the door, the next thing we hear from Mo, "No, give them back." As for the next thing we see, it's Jabber walking through that desert. And this is where we end this episode. Staticky TV playing, we see the boss. All at once, it's almost like a first person where he directly sees his face. He then says, "Time to start A." I've been recording this over and over, and there's really no right way to talk about this. I've seen Main Abyss, Ashuko Tensei. Those are like some of the most depressing animes I can think of. There's more on that list, but those are like the high tier ones I can think of on the top of my head. And I know there's worse out there. But this was downright one of the most depressing backstories I was ever told. And it was done really creatively. I hope no one ever has to go through it. And to those of you that have, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to think. It just opens your mind up a little bit that there's people out there going through that. And it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to talk about Mo's backstory, though. So, first of all, her mom sold her off. And I was questioning to myself, why would she sell her own daughter? And it made me think, maybe she had a drug problem, maybe she had an alcohol problem, or number two, she could be paying rent. There's probably other reasons out there, but those are the only ones I can really think of overall. It's awful. That's awful, but we come to the second one, and this is where things are beyond repairable. Like everything about this is unrepairable. This is where she gets like destroyed, and it just all came together all at once. Why she's the way she is, why she talks about herself in third person, why she's so lonely. This guy bought her, and he ended up grooming her. And it's a different type of grooming. All types of grooming, they're downright terrible, awful, worst of the worst, like the bottom tier stuff. People out there, they have trauma, and I'm just like, dude, it just comes at you all at once in this episode. The thing about it, he used a tool, and what I see is this is like literal like hell. This is hell. This is like being trapped with something forever. She was being used in a way I've never seen before. This is like the ultimate torture. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying this like, no. This is like a no, no, no. This tool was used for her to be tricked into being in love with him. And he used this as a way to sleep with her. Like, we gotta be honest with ourselves. He was sleeping with that poor young girl. And she thought it was okay. She thought that was her love. And she still thinks it in a way. And it's just so complicatedly weird. Even after she heard the truth, she denied it. She denied it. This is how awful what it was. And it just shows you this is the worst thing in the world. Like, it's already the worst thing ever, but somehow it got turned into the worst thing ever in the universe. Gosh, I'm yapping too much. I'm sorry. I apologize. We move on to the next thing I wanted to say. They turned something awful, and I don't mean this in any way under putting other people's trauma. I think this episode turned it around into something beautiful. We get to see Rudo sort of come out to her and basically accept her. And she now has real friends. She's now connected to the real world. It doesn't take away all the other things underneath. That's something that can't be changed. But we can help ease it a little bit, should I say. And we come to the ending. She actually ends up losing her prized possession. At first, we're wondering who could it be. Then we see Jabber, who is in that same desert. He came out there, he followed the gang, and he swooped in at the right time, took her boots. And of course, we're wondering, why do they need all these identical items? This series, does it do something when it's all together? So there's got to be a piece for everything we can think of. And I am just thinking, is there a hat? Is there a vest? Is there a shirt? The list could go on, but it is definitely something we got to keep in mind. The final finale of this episode, we get to see the boss. And I think he might be hinting at some sort of next fight. Or it could be a war. That's something we aren't too sure about. So we'll have to see. Do we get an appearance from the grand boss? Man, I wanted to say something about this series. We're at 5 minutes. I apologize, guys. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, you remember the bird thing? The bird and the angel. Amo's mother said something about the bird not loving her. Could it be that the angel doesn't love her either? Or maybe I was wrong this whole time. Maybe the bird was the guy. Boom. You never know. You never know. Because in a way, the guy was similar to the bird in her head. It was like freedom. We get to see like something creative, and it comes back to it. It was creative that we get to see from the naive mind of a child. It was done like a kid's drawing. This episode, it was amazing. It was amazing and awful at the same time. And I mean awful as in a sad way. Um, Other thing, I was also thinking about this series as a whole. It's art. It's art. Whether it's the writing, whether it's the characters, whether it's what they're wearing, the backgrounds, it all comes together and it's art. So if I had to sum up the series so far, I'm going to tell you it's art. It's art. And I'm just going to guess that is the series as an entirety. If I had to rate it, I'm going to say this episode is a 9.5. Gachiakuta, you're doing things right. And I love it. I love it. To everyone out there, I love you. And I hope you're doing the best in life, wherever you are. I hope nothing but great things happen. And also, I hope for your success. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are on Gachiakuta episode 13. Hope you stay safe. And until next time, peace out.